Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Katie.
Guess what?
What? Chicken butt?
No, but we do have, some listeners these days. More.
Yeah.
We're growing in popularity.
That's awesome.
That's how we fucking roll.
That's right.
But so I was thinking this thing, because, that means that we're using more bandwidth and stuff on our, host site. And then, we actually have to pay for shit now.
Whoa.
So I was thinking that some of our listeners, or even maybe some people our listeners know, might want to, sponsor us.
Ooh.
We could do in this little weird spot right here where people are wondering why the hell we're talking before the music has even started.
Yeah.
It could be your commercial.
There you go.
And Sharon and I would be talking like this and going, hey, guess what? This product is fucking awesome and you should totes use it.
That's right.
That would be rad, wouldn't it?
It'd be sweet.
So, yeah, I'm going to put some details on our blog. I'm actually going to make a tab about it on our blog so that people can go there and read it. So go to twoartsygals.wordpress.com and look on the sponsorship opportunities tab, and you can find out how awesome it'll be, because it'll be super affordable. You'll feel like you're stealing from us, I swear. Check it out.
Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird, then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, your two artsy gals. Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Sharon.
And this is the Two Artsy Gals podcast. And we're back to our regular intro after last week's just disastrous attempt at changing things up a bit. It was so weird.
Yeah, don't do that.
I won't do it anymore. It's weird. You're just going to listen to us say the same thing every time we start the podcast because that's our intro. So suck it if you don't like it. I don't know, too. So, guess what is happening?
Halloween. Man, I really wish that we'd had some good sound effects.
I know. We should have planned that out. I should buy some sounds for...
Yeah. Ooh. Well, we could just listen to the wind at my house, because it's freaky.
Sharon's got a cray-cray windstorm going on right now, which I'm jealous of, because I love windstorms, but she is looking around like she's some kind of freaked out, paranoid, I don't know what. Every time she
I
hears
feel like
a
I'm in the
sound.
Wizard of Oz. It's freaking my shit out, and there's all sorts of stuff stuck to the outside of my house that's blowing off.
I did have to ask her. She closed the blinds for me because I could see something behind her, flying through the air. It's good though. This is you're scared, so it's good for the Halloween episode.
I guess
because you're freaked out a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't guessed this about us already, Sharon and I super love Halloween. A lot. More than adults should like Halloween.
What are you doing?
I'm drinking tea. Oh, you couldn't see my cup. I guess that did look really weird if you could only... Okay, sorry.
I was like, oh god, she's gonna pull up some scary, freaky mask. That's the thing, though.
I vow right now I will not do that to you this episode.
Okay, thank you, because although I do love Halloween, there are a lot of things that freak my shit out about Halloween.
Oh, dude. Okay. Can we just talk about fucking clowns for 1 second?
Oh, really? Did we have to go there?
People, let's not fucking... It's unnecessary. Don't dress like a fucking clown.
Or a scary clown.
Or don't dress your kids like clowns, because I want to ninja kick those little fuckers in the face every time they come to my door. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's not okay. And let me tell you, my brother the other day sends me some fucked up video on Facebook, and it's clowns. I can see that it's clowns. The title is clowns, and I'm like, don't put that on my page. I'm not looking at it. He's like, I'm dying laughing. You have to look at it. I'm like, no,
you know what? I think I saw that, and I didn't look at it.
You know what? You know what?
What?
Then I looked at it for 2 seconds, and it freaked my shit out. because I thought, oh, maybe it's going to be something else, because he wouldn't actually put this on here. Oh, no, he did. And then he had forgotten that I'm freaked out about clowns. So now I need to get even.
I will help you with that. I'm pretty good at getting even.
It's pretty easy. All you need to put is a picture of a slug on his Facebook page. Oh, yeah,
because he doesn't like slugs. That's right. I'm going to remember that really about him. That's funny.
Yeah.
No.
It's not cool. Oh, he knows it's coming. Something's coming.
He's getting a fucking slug. I have a toy slug somewhere in this house. It's a slug finger puppet.
Oh, I've got lots of slugs in my arsenal for him.
I was gonna say I'll give you a slug finger or my slug finger puppet so that you can scare your brother with it.
Ooh, I'd like that.
I just have to say, probably one of the things that really won me over and convinced me that I should marry my husband was the year we went to this stupid Halloween thing that one of the radio stations was having at the Crystal Ballroom. It was seriously stupid. But it was like, it's super lame when Halloween falls midweek.
Yeah.
Not a lot of good stuff goes on, and even on the weekends, people are like, meh. So we went to this thing, and I don't know what fucking video game it is, because I would never play a video game with a fucking evil clown on it. So I am unaware of this, but there is a scary clown in this video game, and some dude was dressed as this scary clown. And he noticed that usually what I do when I see clowns in that kind of situation is I get really tense really quick, and my eyes get really big, and then I turn around really fast.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing.
So I probably did that.
Flee.
So the guy starts fucking with me, and really trying, popping up beside me, and I was so upset that I started crying. Because I wasn't drunk yet. And he's lucky, because had I been drunk, he would have been bleeding off his fucking clown makeup. Because I would have just ninja fucking punched him in the face.
Oh yeah, I probably would have punched him in the fucking face too.
So, but Kurt, my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, finally walked up to this guy and he goes, look dude, I appreciate your costume. It's pretty awesome. I'm betting you paid a lot of money for that mask. And good on you. You know, you're doing a good job. It's Halloween. You're supposed to be scary. But you see that lady over there you keep fucking with is my girlfriend. She's really scared of clowns. And right now she's really fucking upset with you. Which means that I'm either going to have to come over here and ask you to stop, and you're going to stop. Or she's going to make me kick your ass. And my husband is a big dude. He's no one that you want to say, I'm going to have to kick your ass. So the guy was like, oh God, I'm sorry. And thankfully he actually left. I don't fucking like clowns. I think we've established this on this podcast before, but just don't do it, people. That's what the whole point of this rant was.
Yeah.
Don't dress as a fucking clown.
There's a fine line.
Clowns over the line. Unnecessary.
Don't cross it.
And don't dress while we're at it, don't do mimes. 'Cause I'll fucking cut a mime. And
will you?
I'll cut a fucking mime in half. I'll gut it like a fucking trout. I like those guys. And don't, what's the other thing I hate? Oh! I saw someone dressed up as a ventriloquist dummy. And I don't like that either. I have this real thing. It's called animatronophobia.
What?
It's
fear of ventriloquists?
No, it's animatronophobia, and it's fear of anything like that. Like ventriloquists, I fucking hate the wax figures. I will not go into a wax museum. No way in hell. Anything that looks like it could be human. Actually, I'll tell you, it all boils down to anything that makes me feel like I've been drugged without my knowledge. I don't like any of it. But we're totally off track, so let's talk about something that maybe has something to do with art and Halloween. And, instead of me giving the world ammunition to fuck with me. I'm that paranoid. But Sharon, I know you're scared of dolls, so.
Oh, dear Lord.
So don't go fucking with me. I'll throw some shit at you.
I know, and can I just say that in my mother-in-law's room in this house, because we live in my mother-in-law's house, long story, but we keep her room closed, so she just sleeps in it. It's her room that when she was a kid, it's still all the same. And there are some freaky ass fucking dolls in there.
Are they those fucking ceramic old dolls?
Yes, with the blinky eyes.
Those are the worst dolls
blinky
ever.
Eyes.
They should not.
And you know
happen.
what? The only one that I can look at is our Sleepy Time Jesus. Because that's just funny.
Sleepy Time Jesus is awesome, so.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, those other kind of dolls kind of creep me out. There's a fine line. There's some I'm okay with, but some of them. Ugh.
No, and do you ever get the one like where the sleepy eye's broken, so it just has like the one hangy eye, and it's really fucking insane and scary looking?
Or somebody's like scratched the paint off the eyelid so it like turns, but it's like,
oh my
not
god,
really vivid.
So I don't like things that don't have like their eyes are just white, like that. Like, and when for some fucking reason, and I will never understand why, there used to be a nursery on Highway 101 between Bay City and Tillamook, where I grew up, and we would have to drive down the stretch of Highway 101 to go to the grocery store in Tillamook from where we lived in Bay City. And the nursery, I don't remember what it was called back then, but they had a picture of Little Orphan Annie, but like the old school Little Orphan Annie with no eyes or pupils or anything.
What is wrong with that? Why?
It used to make me cry. I used to bury my face in my hands and not look at it.
It's fucking freaky.
Yeah.
It's freaky. Why? Why is that necessary? Just put some pupils in there.
Well, and what does that even have to do with a nursery?
Well, yeah, that is kind of weird.
Like, I mean, I know it's Tillamook, and Tillamook, there's some eccentric little fucking weirdos down there, but I never understood it. It used to make me cry, though. Until I was like 12 years old, I couldn't drive past there without covering my face.
Yeah.
And it was there, like, well into my early 20s.
So, yeah, back to Halloween.
Back to Halloween. Speaking of creepy signs, let's talk about Halloween decor.
Okay.
Because let's face it, that's a big part of Halloween.
Yeah.
So,
you know what's sweet about Halloween and decorations? Is you can add a lot of black glitter.
Dude, black glitter is like, it's like somebody knows me and they know my heart and my soul, and they just invented it only for me.
I think they did.
Because I fucking love glitter, but I love black even more, and black glitter, I think that my heart pumps black glitter through my veins.
I think it does.
It probably does.
Yeah.
I love it. You could see it, seriously, you put black glitter on anything, and it's Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
And black glitter is not hard to find anymore. It used to be, and you can buy decorations that are black glitter now, but black glitter in itself used to be really hard to come by. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find it anywhere, and when I found it, I would hoard it and covet it and only use it sparingly. And they even make it like the fine pixie dust kind now, too, that really fine glitter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually getting ready to redo a pair of sunglasses for Mexico that have ugly snake skin print on the ear stems, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna put black glitter on it.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
And then I'm gonna seal the shit out of it. I can't
decide if I like big black glitter or the fine pixie dust. I think it's all
like
good.
it all. There's no wrong way to use black glitter. And black and purple glitter together. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Halloween right there.
Right now.
Yeah.
I know. Let's see. We're probably like preaching to the choir right now with people who like Halloween. Because there are people who are into Halloween and there are people who are not into Halloween. And those people are weird. And there's something wrong with them. The ones who are not into it. But
yeah,
the dollar store is your best friend for Halloween decor.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because they have shit tons, like metric shit tons of cheap ass Halloween stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, right now, on my counter, I'm not decorating that much for Halloween this year because we're going to be in Mexico for Halloween.
Oh, get out.
Which is going to be awesome. But I have a glass jar full of little silver, glittery styrofoam skulls that have LEDs in them, and you turn them on and they light up and their eyes light up, and I bought those at the dollar store.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, just put some fucking foam skulls in a glass dish, and you got Halloween on a stick, yo.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can I make a confession about something that I don't really enjoy about Halloween?
Sure.
I don't really like to carve pumpkins.
Really?
Yeah. I get just really lazy and then I just carve a couple triangles and a smiley. And I like to make the pumpkin seeds.
Oh.
But I know, isn't that disappointing?
Well,
I've kind of grips with it. I finally came to grips with it. I like to go to the pumpkin patch and get the pumpkins. I love taking the pictures. I love all of it. I love to watch my kid carve his pumpkin with his dad and me not clean up anything and them just do it all.
You want to know what a psycho I am about pumpkin cleaning mess?
Yes.
My son has never cleaned the gook out of a pumpkin at my house.
Oh.
Because
What?
I clean all the goop out and wash them off in the sink, and they're all pre-cleaned and ready to go. Because I don't want that shit all over my fucking house.
Oh my God, that's
So I just put a
hilarious.
garbage bag or a paper bag for the compost in one sink, and then I scoop it all out and clean it out, and I do all of our pumpkins, and then I wash them off and get all the sticky shit off of them, and then they're just ready to go.
That is freaking hilarious.
And I did that until we haven't carved pumpkins the last couple of years because my in-laws have decided to change our family vacation to Halloween time. So we haven't done Halloween at home, but yeah, that's what I do. I don't like the mess.
Oh, that's so funny.
So it freaks me out. But Sharon, do you do other things with pumpkins? Because you don't have to carve them.
No, I don't really. I mean, sometimes I just stick a pumpkin out there.
You can paint them. You could spray paint them black and whatever. You can draw faces on them.
It's true. I really should take the effort and do that.
Like you can do all kinds of shit with them.
It's true. Yeah. Totally. You could put black glitter on them.
You could put black glitter on a pumpkin, and that would be badass.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Seriously. Yeah, do that. Aside from pumpkins, because those kind of go outside. Well, they could go inside too, but so indoor decor. Like, what is your favorite? Do you decorate your house a lot for Halloween typically, or?
We just do like things on the windows and then like a couple things on the doors. We got our pumpkins. But I have I've got my little guy, so it's like a little bit more difficult to decorate stuff down low.
Oh no,
but
you can't do that.
I do have these candles that are kind of cool that they're like, one's like a pumpkin, like a scary pumpkin face, and the other one's like a skull. You put a candle on the top, and then like the candle like oozes through its eyes and mouth and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
So I put out like little candles and stuff on my mantle.
I think that's really important. And that was something I was going to mention. Lighting for your Halloween decor sets a mood. There's nothing like candlelight or low light, or even if you go buy those LED, like sometimes if you have little kids or, want candles, because candles can be problematic, let's face it. Just going, even the dollar store always has those, like 2 packs of those little electric tea light candles.
Yeah, I
they're
love
like
those.
battery operated.
And they like kind of blink or sparkle.
Yeah, they're like $1. But it totally sets a mood. And then when you have a little lighting, you can do things like, honestly, get some black construction paper and just cut a silhouette out of like a witch or, a monster, and then put it on your mantle with candles and shit. Like, seriously, silhouettes, black construction paper, black glitter, black plastic bags. All you need.
Dry fall leaves. Dried fall leaves.
Yeah, because you can totally get into, like, the fall, like, it's a fall theme. And seriously, branches off of trees and a can of black spray paint.
Totally.
That's all you need. We actually, for years, when my son was little, had a Halloween tree in our house. And it was a tree branch that I spray painted black and stuck in a flower pot that I spray painted black, and there was foam in there, so it would hold it up. And then I just put like spider web, like that, the spider webby crap that you buy.
Yeah, the it's like cottony.
Yeah, I put that around there, and then we just hung little creepy things in it. I think I had some ornaments that somebody gave me that were Halloween ornaments, like little tiny things. We did that, and my son made like like construction paper chains out of orange and black, and like we used to decorate that up. And that is a fun way for, especially when you have little kids.
Yeah.
To make little kids like feel involved, and because Halloween can be scary for little tiny guys, really.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun, a fun way to let them be involved in it.
Yeah.
And you know, front porch, like your I think, I don't know, I always find like houses when they do outdoor decor more scary when it's just the front porch and there's not a lot going on in the yard. So you come up onto the front porch and then you have all this like, and you don't have to spend any money on this. Like, one of the scariest and most awesome things that my parents ever did to decorate for Halloween when I was a little kid was stuff my dad's clothes with like,
yeah, that's a good one,
leaves and newspaper, and then set it on the front porch in a chair with the light off on the front porch. And then there was, my dad put an old mask on it, and like an old man mask. It was really weird. And it was just sitting on the porch. So on Halloween night, my dad put those clothes on and sat in the chair like later when the older kids were coming out, because we always had like the asshole high school kids that would come steal our pumpkins and break them in the street and stuff. And so my dad sat there with that mask on and those clothes on after they had been stuffed out there for a couple of days. So people were just used to seeing them. And there was this boy that I had the biggest fucking crush on. His name was Brian Anderson, and I was going to marry him, I was pretty sure. He, however, really didn't know I existed. I was just the dorky little girl with glasses and caps on my teeth, silver caps on my teeth. So, because I was like, this was grade school. And Brian Anderson came up the stairs and went to knock on the door, and my dad sat up and went, "Whoa," or something like that. And he shrieked and jumped. Like, the house I grew up in has about 27 steps up a bank to the house. He took those steps by 5. And we're talking like he was like maybe a 5th grader, and his feet didn't hit the fucking road until he got like halfway across the street, and then he took off running. It was the most hilarious thing that has ever happened. Really, it was epic. It was so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
But so yeah, stuff your clothes, like, just, and get out all your old shit, like old wheelbarrows, like, just set it out there with like a shovel beside it and some dirt in it. It looks like you've been digging fucking graves, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like,
yeah,
you
don't
don't need to spend a lot of money. No, and again, the dollar store is like a jackpot for stuff like that. I even saw at the dollar store they had like a creepy music tape.
Oh yeah. They've got so much stuff, and I just like use that stuff over and over. I have a shrunken head I put out front, and then I do the cobwebs.
Yeah, and that's also, you don't have to fucking dust for the month of October. I just say that it's decoration.
Yep, there you go.
I'm decorating.
I like that.
Yeah. Did you ever have any like snacks and treats or stuff that you like, that you can remember being like a tradition for Halloween stuff, or that you had at parties or anything like that you thought was awesome?
No, but like as a kid, you always like knew who gave out the full-size candy bars, and then the person that like gave out a dime.
You know who gave out the full-size candy bars in our town?
Who?
My fucking dentist.
That's hilarious.
Actually, you know what? He had the best, and every year he added something else to it. He made his whole driveway like a haunted drive. And then like a haunted carport, and his candy bars were in a huge wooden coffin that he made.
Oh,
and you
my
could just
God.
reach in and get a full-size candy bar out of there. Like, but it started out, I can remember going in his house when I was a teeny tiny little kid. Every year he added to it. Bob Miles, he was the nicest, he's a super nice guy, and he loved Halloween, and he actually, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, stopped doing it because for the first time ever he had people vandalize his stuff.
Oh no.
So Halloween vandalizing is not fucking funny, people. You ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, totally.
Because he just put it
Not
away.
cool.
He's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
They broke all his shit. But he gave out the best. Like, he had he gave out king-size candy bars, not just full-size candy bars.
Oh my God. I just want to like shove my face full of like crappy candy and like Mounds bars right now and like have a diabetic attack.
You know what my favorite is?
What? My mouth's watering.
Those little mini Tootsie Rolls.
Oh.
I fucking
really?
love those. And I love candy corn. It's like crack. I can't stop eating the shit.
Oh, see, that's not so much my thing. I like the mounds. Anything with caramel makes my teeth hurt like crazy.
But it's so good.
It's so good. And then like, you always had that, you would like spill out your candy and like kind of go through it. And you'd always have that like one special one because maybe you only got one of something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I love the Smarties.
I like Smarties too. My brother Abe could make his candy last almost a year. As a matter of fact, one year he had it for so long, he had an ant infestation in his bedroom.
Oh, gross.
I was the kid that made myself fucking sick. Like the first night I candy. And then my brother would just like meter it out. He'd eat a piece every night before he went to bed. I'd be like, where'd you get the mini candy bar? And he's like, suck it, bitches. You should have saved your Halloween candy.
Oh my God. That's
he could
so
seriously,
funny.
It could literally get him through until Easter.
Wow.
And then he got his next batch of candy. I used to steal his candy. Or that, or I'd just rough him up and make me give some, because I was the oldest, so.
Right. Shake it out of him. Come on, give it up.
When we were little, I'd be like, give me a fucking piece of candy. But yeah, I think my aunt every year, we always liked going to her house because she always did popcorn balls.
Oh, yeah.
Homemade popcorn balls.
There weren't razor blades in them, were there?
Yeah, no, I was going to say, people don't really do that anymore because, you know, I think that's an urban legend, BT dubs.
It's a total urban myth, yeah. Like the stuff, like, don't take the apple.
Yeah.
There's razor blades in the popcorn balls.
Yeah. Speaking of apples, I saw, because I always love caramel apples or candy apples. And I saw it would be a great idea for a party, poison apples. And I am going to post a link to it. No, but you use like black food coloring and it makes the candy on the outside of the apple black. And then you go get tree branches and you stick them at the top of the apple instead of like a popsicle stick. You like shave them down. So it has to be from like not a poisonous tree. But, you know, I mean like use your goddamn vine maple in the front yard. You'll be fine. But they look really freaking cool. Like I'm waiting until I can have a Halloween party again because they're awesome. And my mom used to do this thing where we would have she would serve hot cider. She'd just keep it in the crock pot and put like apple cider, you know, hot apple cider. You have the hot apple cider and she'd float like little anise things and cinnamon sticks in it. But she would take
anise things?
Anise seeds, not anus things. Like the little star anise. Yes, my mother floated anuses in her fucking hot apple cider.
I didn't know where this was going. Butthole.
Anyway.
Butthole cider.
Butthole cider. Oh my god. Seriously, Sharon is laughing so hard at her own fucking joke. Which I like in a person.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't trying to get a hold of myself.
So, oh no. I'm going to give you a moment to compose yourself. I'm not going to look at you. Because I know if I look at you, it's going to start again. Oh, now I started it again.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, also in this hot apple cider, she would peel apples and take all the skin off of them and carve little faces in them. And then they like turn brown and she would float them in the cider and they look like shrunken heads. Bobbing around in the cider.
That's awesome.
Their buttholes may have been below the surface. I don't know. I never asked.
That's totally awesome.
Oh my god, you are insane.
So, okay. Whew.
Okay. I think
I'm so like a second grader right now.
You are. It's like I said. God. Well, I don't know. I can't criticize you for getting giggly about buttholes and wieners and... I was going to talk about mummy wiener wraps, but I'm just going to skip it now because I don't think you can fucking handle it.
You know what people should look up is like bad, like around Facebook has probably already circulated, like, the bad Halloween costume ideas.
Oh my god. Did you see there was one someone posted the other day that it was, sexy costumes because they were making fun of how everything's always sexy, but it had things like, well, one of them was sexy fetus. And it was an adult woman dressed up as a fetus, and then there were, like, sexy, like, really inappropriate sexy things. It was hilarious, though. It was just making fun of that.
Oh my god.
So funny. Let's talk about costumes, though, because really that is the meat of Halloween right there. Like, that's it. Like, that's my jam. I love doing costumes. And
You have some amazing ones that you've made.
Yeah, I like to sew, so I make crazy costumes. Like, one year my husband and I went as Mexican wrestlers together. I made him a giant Tinky Winky Teletubby costume one year.
That one was off the hook.
And he won second place at a costume competition at a lesbian bar, people. It was awesome. And then I made him a Bender costume, which I think I talked about on here. I even had, it's Bender the robot from Futurama, in case y'all don't watch that. And then you open it up, in the door in the front, there was Lucy Liu's head in a jar.
That's so awesome.
It was awesome. But you don't have to sew to do all this. And this is the thing. People get super intimidated and think they can't come up with a good costume. But you don't have to sew.
No, my husband came up with a great one year that he made. It was the Beerbot 2000. And so he had, like, it was like the cardboard box. He, like, spray painted it silver. And then he got, like, you know, the tubing for the dryer for his arms. And then on the top, it was like a funnel and a tube. And people just poured beer into the top of the funnel. But I found him later in the night leaning his head against a corner because he couldn't really sit down because his costume was a box.
Oh, yeah?
Because they just kept funneling beer into his funnel.
So he was done. He passed out standing up.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, oh, are you okay? He was like,
That's definitely something to consider. Make your costume barf-proof.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't drink like that anymore because I'm too old for that shit, but, you know. There have been some Halloween parties that I will not talk about on here, but, because y'all will think less of me, but...
Yeah, I've got one of those stories. But anyway, what was one of your favorite costumes that you made for yourself?
Well, now I am of the slutted up for Halloween school.
Oh.
I like a hoary costume. Really, all of my costumes as an adult have been based on whether or not I can figure out how to get a corset into the mix.
Uh-huh.
Because I make corsets.
You do have some pretty magical boobs.
Well, and I like a corset, you know, and I sew them. So I think, gosh, I don't know. I did this. I like the Slutty Cigarette Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I made that one year. And I did the S&M Fairy one year, but I got hugged by a bum who was not at all clean. And was the only person that, he's like, hey, you're the S&M Fairy. And I was so excited that he knew what my costume was that I just let him hug me. And then I was like, oh my God, you smell so bad. Stop touching me.
Oh no.
But I've been like I like the year I made the vampire costume though, because I did a lot of makeup. And it was like I recycled witch costume because I had made a black and purple, like old school, like I made like a wench dress. With the black shirt and the black skirt underneath, and then the top was purple and it tied up. And then, you know, of course you have your boobs like cascading out the top. And that was a witch costume one year, and I wore my black and purple striped witch socks. But the next year, I was a vampire, and I painted my face really pale and like made veins in my temples.
Oh, nice.
And I got those teeth that you actually mold onto your, like you make them and you mold them onto your teeth. That was a good one. But I think my favorite, though, it was the only couple's costume my husband and I have ever done, was our Mexican wrestler costumes.
That's a good one.
I was Chichi Grande.
Uh-huh.
And he was Mucho Bastardo.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
We had capes and cloaks, and they were awesome.
One of my favorite adult costumes was I was Pan one year.
Awesome.
And so I had a nude suit on the top, and then like I put a little bit of chest hair on it. And then I had really short hair at the time, so that worked. And I put like branches in my hair, and then I just had like fleece pants. And I made a lady drive off the side of the road because she saw my costume. And I was like walking into the store. I mean, like she couldn't tell if I was really topless or not. I even made little paper nipples and like put them on.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, it was an awesome costume. I loved that one. I think that was my favorite costume as an adult.
Have you and Danny ever done couples costumes?
I'm trying to think. No, he hasn't. I was David Lee Roth one year.
No,
that was an awesome
shut
costume.
up.
Yeah, that was pretty rad. Like, I even put like a huge like cod so it looked like it had like a package.
I was going to say, did you have like a sock rolled up in there? Because you have to.
Oh, and I think as a kid, my favorite costume was, I don't know, this was my weird sense of humor. I wanted my mom to make an egg costume, like I was an egg with my little legs sticking out. She was like worried that like how would I be able to see and everything. And so then I was a chicken.
Instead of an egg?
Yeah, so she made me a chicken costume.
Well, that's awesome, but how could you see better being a chicken than you could being an egg?
I don't know. I think maybe she just couldn't figure out how to make the egg costume to make it like totally egg shaped and like where the eyes or the face or whatever. So she already had this hat that was a chicken, and so she said, "Well, I'll make you a chicken costume." So I was a chicken.
So you've always had a love for chickens, then?
I guess.
Chickens and eggs.
Yeah, I guess
awesome.
so. Birds, really.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I really liked that one. And then that was my favorite kid costume. I can't remember a lot of them. You know, I don't even have really pictures of me, at Halloween.
Really? I have one picture and I think it's one of the only costumes that I really remember clearly anyway. So that's probably why it's my favorite. But it was the year my mom made me a witch costume. And then she made my little brother's werewolf costumes.
Oh, cute.
But everybody thought they were teddy bears.
Oh.
And then I can totally remember everybody going, "Oh, you're such cute teddy bears." And then my brother Abe would get mad and go, "Ugh," and show his werewolf teeth because it had remember those little silly vampire teeth you got when you were a kid? They had those in, and he would go, "Ugh," and they're like, "Oh, you're a scary bear." And he just pissed him off that no one knew he was a werewolf.
So funny.
I think halfway through the night I remember like, dude, howl. Bears don't howl? Yeah. Come on. But I think as a kid, probably my favorite. Because I always liked to be a witch, though, which was my standard for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been a witch a lot of times, too.
And then I've always been obsessed with witches, though. Always liked witches and thought I was a witch. I always wanted to be one. So, and then there were a lot of, I think in high school, I went as a punk rocker. Like middle school, high school, which really I just dressed the way that I wanted to dress, but probably would have been made fun of for dressing that way. So, you can have crazy hair and stuff. And now look at me, I'm a grown up and I have pink in my hair and face piercings. So, what do you know?
Yeah, exactly. Just living it out.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, for Halloween costumes, like I have seen, especially at adult parties, some great costumes. So the internet is your friend. Like research and really think about as I think I was saying, you don't have to sew. You can use I helped my friend go as a bag of weed one year. We used saran wrap and moss.
Oh yeah.
And I made my friend if you ever have been to a Grateful Dead show or a Fish show or anything like that, you'll get this reference, but I made him a kind veggie burrito costume. So we just used foil and actual leaf lettuce I think we had sticking out of it or something. You don't have to go you don't have to sew, you don't have to spend a lot of money, cardboard boxes, dryer tubing, whatever. Just get creative and look on the internet for ideas.
Oh, totally.
So, I mean, and again, we're probably preaching to the choir on this because I think most of the people that listen to our podcast are super artsy people. So, but not a lot of people, not everybody does Halloween. But yeah, Halloween is rad, everybody, and you should totally do it.
That's right.
And go do stuff. Just in closing really quick, what is your favorite Halloween memory of all time?
I think just my memory of, always going trick-or-treating with either my brother or my friend growing up, Leslie, and then just like spilling out all of our candy, you know, and like looking what we got, what our treasures were, just that feeling of like, oh, we're gonna go trick-or-treating. Oh, I loved going like at school, because you used to be able to dress up at school, you know, and
yeah,
the parties at school. I think those were always my favorite memories.
I think so too. Me too. And I think every year we always ended up at my grandma and grandpa Bradley's house in Barview, and we always had popcorn and hot chocolate and cookies. And I think that being with my cousins and at my grandma and grandpa's house was, and it was always warm. There was always a fire in the fireplace and stuff, and hanging out with my cousins was always like the best. I loved that. You're all jacked up on sugar. And my grandma and grandpa usually went to bed early, but they kind of stayed up late that night. So it was just, you know, it was a good time. But yeah. And as an adult, who remembers all their Halloweens? I usually drink too much, so, you know. But if any of you have awesome Halloween stories that you want to tell us, or awesome costume pictures, send us an email, and you can do that at 2artsygals@gmail.com, because we want to see your pictures. And I'm going to post a recipe I found for the poison apples. And if I can dig around and find some pictures of some of the Halloween costumes and stuff that we talked about today, or if Sharon has any that she can send me, I'll post some of those too. But I don't know. I think we just kind of didn't want to bypass Halloween. So there wasn't a lot of artsy stuff on here today, but we wanted to talk about Halloween. So you can go check out those recipes and any pictures that we can find on our blog, which is 2artsygals.wordpress.com. I hope you all have an awesome Halloween. I will be in Mexico drinking a lot, and I will be drinking for you too. So, happy Halloween, and until next time, make some cool shit, yo!